Hi everyone, welcome back. Welcome back to ColorSpiration where we're doing 100 days of coloring, chit-chatting, hanging out, and hopefully giving you a little bit of I could get it done kind of mentality. If not, you're just here to hang out with me and I appreciate that too. So, this is picture number 4. As you can see, we got this chair right here and it's number 4, but it's just upside down. We're gonna be coloring. I wanted to make an orange flower. I don't know why, so I pulled out marigold. If I recall, marigold is pretty orangey. Yeah. And then I have also this color right here. It is called light prawn. I think we used this previous, but I think those two may look good together. Or even this little yellow that we got going on right here. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's have some chitty chat. I put a comment in the community tab. You're probably seeing this a few days after that tab because I put it in on the 15th. Just saying, I don't think we fully digested or discussed what happened in 2020. Uh, so I feel like some of us probably have like kept it all bottled up and bottled in our emotions and things like that because nothing has been the same since the pandemic. Some people probably have gotten a lot better. Some people have gotten a lot worse. And when I say better, I mean in the things that they do, their creativity. Some of them become business owners. Some of them have made millions. Some of them haven't. Some people have kind of kept their status quo. And I think for the most part, I was kind of like chugging along and attempting to be a normal person. And I've been evaluating me the last couple of months really hard, like putting my emotions and thoughts under a microscope. And I'll tell you, it's rough. The more and more I think about it, the more and more I'm like, ooh, you need to take a deep breath. I have a lot of people that tell me, show yourself some grace, show yourself some grace, show yourself some this and this and this and this. And I don't come from a world of showing myself grace and mercy. I come from a mindset of it needs to be done. How can we get it done? Because my lifestyle, my childhood is different, you know. But nonetheless, I am gonna write some stuff down. I'm gonna start journaling, I guess. And I had a journal before, back in my day. It was called a diary, but don't tell anybody. And somebody read my thoughts, and I stopped writing because I realized that I didn't want to be vulnerable to those people that were reading it. I don't, but I feel like cutting out pictures and making collages is a little bit different than being vulnerable to that, to the possibility of somebody reading my thoughts. So I have a bunch of little books that I have purchased, and I think I want to attempt to do that. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. Is prawn gonna be the right thing? So um, I think I told you on Tuesday, Monday. Monday I had things I had to get done. Well, Monday my little guy. I went to have a meeting with his teachers and have lunch with him. Well, before I had lunch with him, he had gym class and he fell and hit his face. He ran into somebody and they tripped him. You know how kids get tangled up. Tripped him and he has two loose teeth. They're not super loose like they could come out of his face, but they're like wiggly. And I'm hoping that the mouth, his body will try. I was hoping, let's put it like this. I was hoping that his body would combat the situation and surround it. Like red blood cells do to your body. Red and white blood cells. White blood cells attack things. And that's why people that have certain type of blood disorders, they're like the body's attacking itself because of the white blood cells or whatever. Well, I took his temperature because I picked him up from school as I normally do. It's rare that I don't pick him up from school, and his dad does. But I picked him up from school, and he got in the bed and laid down. That is definitely not my baby. Definitely not my baby. So he, I said, come in the kitchen. Let me take your temperature. I take his temperature, and it's 101.9, I believe. Yeah, I think that's what it was. So I called the dentist because I said, well, what's wrong? And he says, my teeth hurt. So he had an appointment on Thursday. I call his dentist. They answer the phone. It's like 4:50 something. Thankfully, the lady answered the phone. They're not like other offices I know that's like it's 4 o'clock. I get off at 4 o'clock and it's 3:56. I'm not answering that phone. But they answered the phone. I told her the problem. She gave me a list of phone numbers. I called all of them to see if they covered. They had my insurance, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. None of them took the insurance that I had, except for one. And the lady says, "Well, we're busy today. You have to come in tomorrow." I could go to his regular dentist tomorrow if that's the case. Well, go downtown to the children's hospital. Now you know the children's hospital kids are sick, 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 sick. And my son isn't sick, 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 sick in my head. I'm like, he just got loose teeth and he has a fever because his body is trying to fight off the loose teeth situation. Well, get back there, tell him he had a temperature, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We wait 4 hours. We wait three and a half. We wait about 3 hours before we're called back. No problem because I'm used to waiting on things. Get called back and wait another 20, 30 minutes. I got there at 5:53 because it was a drive to get there because it was raining, the weather was bad. Perfect combination of, oh my goodness, frustration. So we get there, they see us. They said, well, you know what? His teeth aren't that loose. I'm like, okay, well, she said, you can just keep the appointment with the dentist on Thursday. Okay. She said, but that doesn't explain why he has a temperature. I'm going to run some tests. Okay. The tests that get ran are COVID, flu, and whatever other respiratory tests they have. I don't know if it's another one. Not sorry. So she came, the nurse or the person that draws the labs and does the cultures. I said, "Are you going to do a strep?" She said, "No, the doctor looked in the throat and they didn't see anything, blah, blah, blah." But on his discharge paperwork, they wrote that he complained of sore throat. I never said he had a sore throat. I said he had a loose tooth. Anyway, come back positive for flu B. So I'm like, okay, that's why he had a fever. Yeah? All right. So the lady's like, okay, yeah, on the paperwork, she said he can go back to school fever free, med free for 24 hours. Okay, gotcha. All right. So I'm like, so the nurse comes in. I said, so you can go to school tomorrow, right? Because in my head, he's going to be fever free tomorrow, med free tomorrow. Now, fast forward to Thursday, no, Wednesday. I get a call from the local grocery store, HEB, and no one says anything. No one says one thing to me. So I called back. I said, hey, I got a phone call from y'all and no one said anything. And the lady asked me my name. I gave her my name. She said, you don't have any medication. I said, it's probably for my son. She says, oh, yep, his medication is ready. Now, mind you, the doctor never once told me that he was getting medication. The doctor never once told me he was getting any kind of medication. So in my head, I'm thinking she's not really super concerned that he's quote unquote sick because she didn't say, hey, I got medicine into the pharmacy for you. Now, mind you, my kid, in the grand scheme of things, it was a little kid that had a feeding tube. I think the mom brought him in because It was kinked. It wasn't feeding properly. So, they got taken care of right away, like they went back. And that's a life-threatening illness, especially if you have a permanent feeding tube and it's not working. I got a loose tooth kid, not flu kid that is sick kid in my head. But then, I was just like, oh, well, he's gonna go to school tomorrow if he doesn't have, if he's not quote unquote sick. So if he didn't have a fever, I would have sent him to school because that means that his body had fought off the fever. But no, 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 my baby had a fever. hmm So he stayed home, right? Uh, he woke up and he was like, I'm dizzy. And I'm like, okay, let's take I was gonna take his temperature anyway because I'm not prone to sending a sick kid to school. But if he hadn't, and the reason why I say this is because I've sent him to school coughing and sneezing before due to allergies, right? And in my opinion, I know we all say, oh, it's just allergies, it's just this, it's just that, but little kids are gross when it comes to hygiene, right? You may have a few kids that are very prim and proper and don't want to get anything dirty, but for the most part, little kids up to maybe 10 are pretty dirty, nasty little children. And so I took his temperature, and lo and behold, he had another temperature, So he hasn't shook his temperature, and it's 3 days. The making of this video is 3 days, um, and it's low. It's lower. It's not like super concerning, but it's still a fever, and he's still like a lump, like laying around, coughing, sneezing, and I'm an older person, a little bit more mature in age, not in anything else, than other parents. But I have always been taught to do certain things for kids. And I think it was just because of how my mom did it to me. Um, but for him, I'm like, okay, don't, put on shoes, socks, wrap up in a blanket, try to fight off this illness that you have so you can, get better. When the medication kicks in, he feels better. So he's running around. I'm like, where are your house shoes? I can't find them. Well, find them. They're your responsibility. And I told him, I said, if you're gonna not be sick, right, then I'm gonna send you to school, and/or you're gonna do housework. He's like, I want to go to school then. Oh yeah. Anyway, we'll finish this up tomorrow. I want to say thank y'all for watching. I hope that you are doing well. Please remember to wash your hands. I know some of you probably don't believe in all the other things that's going on, but unless the governments, all of them, got together and mass manufactured this pandemic, uh, people do get sick, right? Anyway, I want to say thank y'all for watching. Please wash your hands. Until next time, happy crafting.